So 84, Lance Kendricks, a sophomore from Milwaukee, out of the H-back position. Matt?
All right, thanks so much. And talking to Paul Christ, one of the things that he mentioned to us, whether or not Travis Beckham, if he was going to play, he said Garrett Graham was going to be a huge part of this offense. As we take a look now at the Suzuki ATV's keys to the game.
You know, the one thing on defense for the Akron Zips is for that they have to be aggressive. They run the 3-3-5 defense, and they have to attack, sending different blitzes and running different formations up front. And then on the offensive side, they have to be able to show multiple sets. With Jockman at quarterback, it sounds as if he's been poised to be able to make the big plays.
Brett Bielema in his third year, 21-5 in 2 seasons. He is in elite company. Only 2 other coaches in Big Ten histories have guided teams to as many as 21 wins in his first 2 seasons. And J.D. Brookhart, and he is in his 5th year, 22-26 overall. All time, the Akron Zips are 1-16 against Big Ten. That includes 2 losses from last year at Indiana and Ohio State. And of course, the Badgers are their only Big Ten opponent this year. Their 1 win, Ian, it was a long time ago, back in 1894. We are set for kickoff here, and David Gilreath for the Wisconsin Badgers will take it off of the leg of Igor Ivalchek, and Gilreath, one of the best in the country, will be stopped at the 33-yard line. Wayne Cobham on the stop, and a 23-yard kick return for Gilreath. And there is Allen Everidge. He started at Kansas State as a freshman. After his sophomore year, he transferred to Wisconsin. What can we expect from him?
Well, you watch him in the pregame and pregame warm-ups. He looked pretty comfortable out there, throwing the ball sharp and looking accurate. Looked to have a big ball game out of him.
In the backfield, P.J. Hill. Expect a lot of P.J. Hill today. There he is, off the left edge. P.J. Hill will pick up 4 on the first carry of the game, the junior. Time now for the Rotel starting lineup, and you look at this offensive line. This is the kind of line, Ian, that you like, right?
Yes.
Big and nasty.
Anchored by Gabe Karimi, 6'8".
And he is just a sophomore. You take a look now at the backfield and the receivers. A young set of receivers. You see the fullback in Bill Rentmeester. Chris Presley will not play today because he has a hand injury, a pin actually in his hand. So they're holding him out until next week. And a huge run right up the gut for P.J. Hill. He has a first down and more for the Wisconsin Badgers. And Tyler Campbell makes the stop coming up in that 3-3-5 defense for the Akron Zips. An 11-yard gain for P.J. Hill as you take a look at the Rotel defense for the Akron Zips. This is a 3-3-5 defense. Do you like that?
Not a big fan of it, simply because you can get pushed around, and it's typically run because you have smaller guys up front. If you're going to run it, you have to be aggressive and bring the blitz.
P.J. Hill, the lone back once again. P.J. Hill with room. P.J. Hill into the secondary, and at the 40-yard line of the Zips. So 3 consecutive carries for P.J. Hill, and Campbell makes a stop for the Zips once again.
You know, you watch this play and you watch P.J. Hill's athleticism and also the vision to watch his offensive lineman and make a huge gain.
After an 11-yard gain, it's a 12-yard gain for P.J. Hill just inside the 40-yard line, and the Badgers going to work. And when you're a starting quarterback for the first time, it's easy to turn around and hand it off to P.J. Hill, and here he is once again.
You know, they're giving him a steady dose of running over and over and over. I mean, I would have thought, you know, maybe try to make him guess a little bit and throw a pass here or there, but I guess
here's P.J. Hill. You see him as he comes off of the field.
Looks like he's holding his leg, but no doubt you.
And after carrying the ball for the Badgers,
he's running there, and good block, and he just gets caught in his knee, it looks like.
And this is going to be Zach Brown. And Zach Brown a year ago had a couple of big games against Michigan as well as Minnesota, as Cole Stewart, the redshirt freshman, makes a stop.
And we watched that play there. I mean, it was just him trying to get around and make a cut move, and gets caught on his thigh. It's probably just a little thigh bruise. He'll be back.
And you see P.J. Hill, you know, he has had a string of injuries over his first couple of seasons. It hasn't been the start of the year for P.J. Hill. It's been how he has finished. But he is still a dynamic back. You see the 3-3-5, but now bringing a blitz. And the handoff to Zach Brown once again. And Brown on third down. Is he able to get the first down? As Mike Thomas comes up to make the stop, the sophomore linebacker. And it's going to be a first down for the Wisconsin Badgers. One of the reasons why you're going to see the run so much for the Badgers. They have an incredible offensive line. They have combined to Starty in 104 games. They average 6'6", 319 pounds. That's up in your territory.
Hey, and I thought I was big at 6'5". You know, I'm not that big anymore. I've lost weight, but these guys are big-time bulldozers out there.
Everidge now will go to the air for the first time, and it is Graham. What a great catch by Garrett Graham, the tight end. The junior reels it in. And after softening up the defense with a run, here's the first pass, a 20-yard gain. Everidge to Graham, Ian.
You know, they started this play off running a play-action pass to try to fool the defense, and then it was just like we mentioned before at the top, that Allen Everidge looks pretty good. He's sharp, very accurate play, and a great catch by Graham.
And what did Paul Chris, the offensive coordinator for the Badgers, tell us? He said he has been consistent, and that's what we need. The give to the fullback right up the middle. And Rentmeester bulldozing ahead for a couple, and Mike Thomas once again for the Zips comes up to make the stop. And what an impressive opening drive for the Wisconsin Badgers.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, they started from close to midfield and just worked their way down by all running in one pass. I mean, that's what you expect. That, you know, in talking to Coach Beelman yesterday evening, that's kind of sounding like that's what their MO was going to be, is just run the ball, run the ball, run the ball.
P.J. Hill back out on the field. Graham in motion. Play action, wide open. Garrett Graham had 4 touchdown catches a season ago, and the Badgers are on the board. We mentioned it early. Paul Chris, the offensive coordinator, said whether Chris Beckham is going to play or whether he isn't, we will feature Garrett Graham, and they do here.
And that was just a testament to the type of player that Garrett Graham is. I mean, he got open quickly, and looks like the offensive front and everybody played their assignments to the team. He was open and great soft hands.
Certainly a big question, too, the field goal kicker. And Philip Welch puts it through the uprights on the PAT. Garrett Graham, a touchdown for the Badgers.
There's only one utility vehicle that can do it all. Only one that can outrun. Only one that can outpull. Only one that can outride. And only one that can outwork every utility vehicle out there. Only Ranger. Hardest working, smoothest riding. Get financing as low as 2.99% and up to $800 during the Power Play sales event.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Yeah, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my friends.
At Hampton, we love having you here.
Go to Advance Auto Parts. They'll test the battery. If it's good, great. If it's dead, buy an Autocraft and let them drop it in for you, no charge. Whatever you need, Advance will help you keep the wheels turning.
All right, let the journey begin.
This week on the series premiere of Illinois football, The Journey. Expectations are high in Champaign.
People are expecting not just a bowl bid, they're expecting a big bowl bid.
There's no reason why we shouldn't have the same opportunity as anyone else to win the conference.
As the Illini prepare for a season as the hunted in the Big Ten.
College football is a what have you done for me lately kind of world, so you got to get it done every day.
Illinois football, The Journey. Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern, only on the Big Ten Network.
Big Ten Tonight is your ultimate source for all things Big Ten. It's a nightly show for highlights, analysis of all of today's action, interviews, and so much more. Big Ten Tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 o'clock Central, only on the Big Ten Network, as we send it down to Jay Wilson. Jay?
An early scare for the Badgers as P.J. Hill walked off in some pain. He was hit just below the belt, and that can smart for a little bit. He missed 2 plays, right back in.
All right, thank you so much. Good to see that for the Badgers. This was a concern for Brett Bielema, the kickoff returning ability of the Akron Zips. Brian Williams and Andre Jones and Johnson back there, and he returns it and then stopped by Brendan Kelly. And so Kelly makes a stop for the Wisconsin Badgers. And here is Chris Jacquelmain. Jacquelmain out of Mentor, Ohio. And a lot of expectations coming to the University of Akron. Was a standout in high school. Last year started, however, and talking to the head coach, the Zip said, maturity. Needs to show a little bit more maturity. They feel as though his time is now. And the give on the inside. And on the inside handoff is Andrew Johnson. And make it Dennis Kennedy on the inside handoff as Shane Carter comes up. And he gets the stop. Time now for the Rotel starting lineups. And for the offense, it is anchored by Chris Kimmey. Kimmey, a former lacrosse player. The senior, the lone senior on that front line for the Akron Zips. 6'6", 310. You'll see them run a lot behind number 74. Jacquelmain under pressure and fires it over to the sideline.
When you watch that play there, and Jacquelmain looks as if he has great pocket presence himself. It was a good play to just kind of get rid of the football versus taking a sack.
You look at the front four for the Wisconsin Badgers. Kirk DeKramer will not play today, and he led the team last year in sacks. The linebackers, and then of course the secondary for the Wisconsin Badgers. It is now 3rd down and short for the Akron Zips. Under pressure, O'Brien Schofield. Lighten up Chris Jacquelmain, and a sack for Schofield. And the Zips will have to punt.
I'll tell you, look at that play there. He just gets a good get off the line of scrimmage and gets the hands of the offensive tackle and just gets on the quarterback. The play right before that, it looked like it was going to be a sack as well. Maybe the nerves just need to calm down, and we'll see where it goes from there.
8-yard loss. David Gilreath is back. John Steck, left-footed punter, sends it down to the 40. Great coverage by the Akron Zips. And the Wisconsin Badgers, their second possession of their first game of the 2008 season. Right after these messages. O'Brien Schofield with the sack.
What happens when designers imagine a refined sedan, while engineers craft a powerful sports car? What happens? You get something better than both. Introducing the all-new Nissan Maxima, the 4-door sports car. Lease a new 2009 Nissan Maxima for $339 a month for 39 months.
Made from fresh tomatoes living happily together with spicy green chilies. The bold flavor of Rotel gives your queso a kick. Spice things up with Rotel.
There are better days to meet us where we stand. They are gathering in crowds and spreading out over.
When it's people people who do the right thing, they call it being responsible. When it's an insurance company, they call it Liberty Mutual. Responsibility. What's your policy? Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, honey, 2 shampoos.
Maybe they're just buying you off so you write a good review.
It's working. It's working. Ah, they got me. Ah, it's working.
A million guest reviews from people like you. Welcome to Hotels.com.
No such thing as too much performance, especially when it comes to high-yielding Mycogen brand grain corn hybrids.
The one show that covers everything Big Ten. Big Ten Tonight. Team reports, exclusive interviews, and expert analysis of the games and matchups that matter to you. Big Ten Tonight, every night, only on the Big Ten Network. Illinois football, The Journey, Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern, only on the Big Ten Network.
Advance Auto Parts road to the championship. You take a look at the Big Ten preseason media honors. Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Illinois. Offensive Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, both, of course, from the Buckeyes. Buckeyes have won the last 3 Big Ten championships and will look to join Michigan as the only school to win 4 or more straight crowns on multiple occasions during the 2008 campaign. And, you know, the Buckeyes are as strong as ever and certainly dangerous.
Yeah, they're one of those teams that you got to watch out for. But I tell you, watch these Wisconsin Badgers so far. They look like a tough team to compete with as well.
P.J. Hill in the backfield. Allen Everidge under center. This is the second possession of the game for the Wisconsin Badgers. And the give off the left side for P.J. Hill. He'll have the first down and into zip territory.
You know, you watch that play there, and it looked as if they tried to go and disguise kind of a 4-3 front and then gave up the middle. Right up the middle, P.J. Hill just sees it, takes it, and explodes forward to get a good gain. I mean, you watch these players, and you look at that 3-5 defense again, and you just want the defensive coordinator just to begin to attack, just attack. I understand maybe you might give up a gamble here or there, but you must attack this offensive front.
In their first drive under Allen Everidge, 10 plays, 67 yards. And how about this? P.J. Hill, cut back. P.J. Hill still on his feet and brought down at the 1-yard line of the Akron Zips. It was a lot of P.J. Hill in the first possession, and now here in the second possession, P.J. Hill once again, 47-yard gain, right up the middle.
You know, you watch number 99, Cole Stewart. He just gets worked out of the way, and in the middle just opens wide up, and P.J. Hill just takes advantage of that and just goes downfield to get a big gain. Watch here by number 74, great block, and then the whole just, I mean, you just call it part the Red Sea, just like walking the Red Sea in Egypt.
P.J. Hill. P.J. Hill powers in for a touchdown. And the Badgers on the board once again in their first 2 times that they have touched the ball here on this Saturday. And Hill enters his junior season with 29 career rushing touchdowns, 17 of them coming in August and September. He now has 30, and 18 of them coming in August and September. 2-yard touchdown run for P.J. Hill. 8 rushes already, 93 yards. And the PAT good for Philip Welch. The Badgers just showing their brute strength early.
Next Saturday, it's another exciting football doubleheader on the Big Ten Network. First, Travis Beckham looks to show why he's one of the nation's best when he leads the Badgers into a collision with a thundering herd. Then, under the lights in Bloomington, Marcus Thigpen powers the Hoosiers against Murray State. Coverage starts with a Big Ten football Saturday pregame show. Next Saturday, only on the Big Ten Network.
Hi, we're Jordan and Mike, and we're excited about this season's Friday night tailgate presented by Nissan. This season, we decided to split everything 50-50. So, make sure you tune into Friday Night Tailgate.
Big Ten Friday Night Tailgate presented by Nissan, only on the Big Ten Network.
Awful. Great. We're partners together.
Relive the drama with the Big Ten's greatest games. Every week, take another look into the conference's rich football history. The incredible performances. The intense rivalries. The nail-biting finishes. And the unforgettable moments. The Big Ten's greatest games. Only on the Big Ten Network. Looking to enhance your game day experience? Presenting the Rotel Ultimate Tailgate Package Sweepstakes. You could win an incredible grand prize package featuring a grill, barbecue set, delicious Rotel products, and everything else you'll need to support your team, or other great weekly prizes. To enter, log on to BigTenNetwork.com and fill out an entry form, or send a postcard to the address on your screen. Don't miss out. Enter the Rotel Ultimate Tailgate Package Sweepstakes today.
Looking to enhance your game day experience, presenting the Rotel Ultimate Tailgate Package Sweepstakes. You could win an incredible grand prize package featuring a grill, barbecue set, delicious Rotel products, and everything else you'll need to support your team, or other great weekly prizes. To enter, log on to BigTenNetwork.com and fill out an entry form. The Akron Zips will begin from their own 26-yard line. And you look at the scoring drive, and all 4 carries on the drive. P.J. Hill, 61 yards, already has 93 yards.
I tell you, that's efficiency now. 4 plays, 61 yards in 1 minute and 42 seconds. That's good efficiency and getting you guys off the field. The defense might end up getting mad at these guys for putting it back on the field so fast.
Hey, this is a team, the Badgers, that led the nation in time of possession last year. They averaged 33 minutes a game, better than that, in fact. You got to add on 44 seconds. Jack Romaine quickly swings it out to the right side. And Jeremy Bruce goes nowhere, and there is a flag on the play. And talking to Brett Bielema last night as the Badgers were going through their walkthrough, Everidge was putting the ball in the air, and I looked to him and
personal foul, face mask, number 47 on the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
One of the new rules last year, 5 yards, but also 5 yards for incidental. This year, everything is 15 yards.
And you watch that face mask there. I mean, that's just a blatant foul. I mean, you have to call that play. And, you know, that's Javery's first start. Javery McFadden, who's the speedy middle linebacker.
McFadden. And so now first down for the Akron Zips at the 43-yard line. But Bielema said to us, as the flag is down again.
False start, number 78 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Zach Anderson.
You know, you just can't have those types of things happening in this type of a ball game. You know, you're on the road in Wisconsin. It's a big-time game. You can't have those type of plays happening.
Bielema said, listen, we're not going to put it up that much. We're going to run. And that's what they've done thus far.
Keep the clock moving.
Jack Romaine on the inside, handoff to Alex Allen on 1st and 15, and almost back to the original line of scrimmage, just shy of that by a yard, and so it's going to bring up second down.
You know, you watch this play here, it was an option play more or less by the quarterback, reading off of whether or not the defensive end was going to penetrate backside, because if he did, he would have kept the ball to keep on going and try to get as many yards as he could.
J.D. Brookhart, the head coach of the Akron Zips, out of the shotgun, and a flag once again.
I mean, I understand, you know, this is the first game of the season, but you just got a penalty.
Before the snap, false start, number 75 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And the sophomore, Corey Woods. And so the right side having troubles. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Big Ten Conference and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Big Ten Conference. 14-0 Badgers. Under 6 minutes remaining here in this quarter. Play action. Jack LeMaine over the middle, intended for Andre Jones. Jones last year led the team in tackles, but because of their lack of depth at the wide receiver position and losing Jabari Arthur,
you watch
they moved him to a wide receiver.
It was a good passing by Jack LeMaine. It was just kind of a late read by the receiver to get to the ball. I mean, he was going in his route, and he turned too late, it looked like, and just missed the catch, but it was a perfect pass, dead on.
So Jones, the leading tackler from a year ago, is now a wide receiver. Their leading rusher batted in the air by Shaughnessy, and Shaughnessy close to picking it off.
That was just a play there. They were getting ready to try to run a middle screen over to the right-hand side, and the defense snuffed it out and jumped up and batted the ball down. But, this is what I was talking about at the beginning, is this is the types of things that the Akron offense must do, is come out with multiple sets or different formations. That time they were coming in the shotgun. They ran kind of a screen play before they ran a pass play over the middle. And that's what they have to do, is mix it up to even try to stay into this ball game.
John Steck, the punter for Akron, and trying to angle it away from David Gilreath. Gilreath lets it bounce, now picks it up at his own 12, and he's driven back to the 8-yard line. And so not a heady decision by the sophomore, who was so spectacular as a freshman. Stay tuned for the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime show with scores and highlights from today's action. Buffalo Wild Wings Grill and Bar, that's coming up at halftime.
You watch Gilreath here, and he's calling a Peter call when he takes his hands and shows that he's going to move away from the ball. The ball ends up getting in his hands, and this is a situation where you have to say to yourself, he's a veteran on the kicking team, and you would expect him, I mean, he's a guy that's being considered as a Devin Hester in some circles. You would expect him to get out of the way to football.
Joe Tuzzi right there along with Dennis Kennedy. Two running backs. Speaking of running backs, off the left edge, P.J. Hill bounces off a one would-be tackler, and he is out of bounds, and it's a first down for the Wisconsin Badgers. 14 yards.
P.J. Hill has been a workload today. I mean, he's just showing his athleticism and his power, busting through the holes, has great vision and running. And I mean, you got to wonder, is he getting gas? Because you want him to finish those plays to get these touchdowns, when he gets a long run like that. But he's a bulldozer type player, and he's making it happen this afternoon.
He's going after big numbers. Ian, he already has 170 yards, and we're just beyond the midway point of the first quarter.
I mean, that's phenomenal. 170 yards midway in the first quarter. I mean, you came into this ball game wondering, what kind of stance would the Akron defense put up? And, they have not attacked, in my opinion, yet. They haven't brought any blitzes, and you got guys standing around already holding their hips, showing signs of fatigue, and it's just taking a toll on this team right now.
P.J. Hill replaced by Zach Brown. Everidge, plenty of time, slings it to the near side. Kyle Jefferson, and Jefferson up to the 43-yard line.
I tell you, Kyle Jefferson is one of those players that you look at him and say he's going to be a special player. I mean, he stands at 6'5". I mean, look at his athleticism. One thing I always look into athletes, you look at his legs, the athletic legs, the calf muscles, and he just has great hands, and he's going to be a special player.
Matt Devlin, Ian Allen, and Jay Wilson here in beautiful Madison, Wisconsin, on what is turning out to be a hot and steamy day at Camp Randall. The give, and it is John Clay, and no place to go for Clay. After that 13-yard gain, Allen Everidge 3 of 3 for 38 yards. He's been extremely efficient. That's all they need out of him. You with the sort of running game that the Wisconsin Badgers have.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to rely on right now, is just getting him into the flow of things, letting him find his rhythm versus trying to force being a prolific passer right now.
Graham in motion. Everidge sprints out to the left side, and he has David Gilreath. A first down for the Badgers, and he is stopped by Brian Williams, who was the leading rusher last year for the Akron Zips.
You know, you watch this play here, and they finally kind of try to bring a game off the side, and they gave up contain, and really the quarterback could have just ran and picked up a first down on his own. But honestly, it was just a good play by David Gilreath and Brian Williams, who's the converted safety from running back last season.
Gilreath had just one catch last season, so all the talk about Gilreath, of course, he was the punt returner, kickoff returner off the left side. Zach Brown. But a new set of receivers, in essence, for the Wisconsin Badgers, as Wayne Cobham comes up and pushes Zach Brown out of bounds. But the Badgers right now controlling tempo.
Yeah, you know, you watch this play here, and the defense was actually in good position. They came out in a man-to-man defense and just kind of stayed home, but they just gave up the edge. You know, you got to look at your defensive end and say, hey, you got to make a stand and not get driven and not get hooked to give up the outside.
John Clay just runs right through Brandon Anderson. And the depth of the Wisconsin Badgers at the tailback position showing there. We'd like to extend a special welcome to all those subscribers of Time Warner and Charter. We're seeing the Big Ten Network for the first time this season. We're happy to have you on board, and we know you'll enjoy having the Big Ten Network on your lineup all year long. So welcome to Time Warner and Charter. John Clay, a redshirt freshman out of Racine, Wisconsin, a big-time recruit, ranked 10th nationally coming out of high school at Racine. And so getting some carries here as he picks up possibly a yard.
You know, you have to kind of look at the defense there. They ran a cover zero and brought 9 guys in the box. And this is what they're going to have to do to make a stand, to just shut down the run. But then also, too, then once you do that, you're kind of susceptible to getting caught into a man-to-man defense and potentially getting picked over the top as well. But that's what you need to do at this point in the ball game.
It's going to bring up 2nd and 10. So John Clay unable to move the ball in positive yards as Zach Brown is back in. Empty backfield. Jefferson inside the 20-yard line of the Akron Zips. And Kyle Jefferson is nudged out of bounds by Brandon Anderson.
You know, it was just a great read by the quarterback. And they caught the defense running a soft zone there, not running man-to-man there, and got caught under in the soft zone. And good catch by Kyle Jefferson there.
First down from the 19 of the Akron Zips. Everidge under center has looked sharp. P.J. Hill has been all that and more. Zach Brown in the backfield. Mickey Turner in motion. Backup tight end. Everidge in the air, almost picked off as he laid it out, and Tyler Campbell came over and unable to reel it in, and that's the first time that Everidge hasn't connected in the air.
You know, that's a situation there where you look at the 3-5 defense and you say they can cause creating confusion as far as trying to pick out what type of defense are they running. They brought the blitz. Everidge saw that, you know, he had a guy open, and I thought that he took a chance to go too far instead of hitting the for sure guy who was wide open underneath.
Talking to J.D. Brookhart, who is the head coach of the Akron Zips, he said, listen, we got to bring the blitz in at 3-3-5. Zach Brown right up the middle, powers ahead, and he gets inside the 15-yard line before he is stopped by Taylor Campbell. So Campbell unable to make the catch. Potential interception comes up and makes a stop on Zach Brown. The sophomore had 5 touchdowns a season ago, and he averaged 47 yards a game.
You know, Matt, that just shows you the depth that this Wisconsin offense has in the running back position, you know.
Successful first quarter for Alan Everidge and his Wisconsin Badgers as they lead 14-0. Akron, they've had all they could handle from Brett Bielema. P.J. Hill and the rest of the Badgers here at Camp Randall. Second quarter coming up.
Countless accolades, multiple championships, no equal. Suzuki.
Scalpel.
Scalpel?
I'm going to make the bilateral incision now. Oh, now, wait a sec.
Doctor, what is it?
Badgers must have scored.
This is Big Ten country. And this is where it lives.
Big Ten Football Saturday, next week, only on the Big Ten Network.
All right, let the journey begin.
This week on the series premiere of Illinois football, The Journey. Expectations are high in Champaign.
People are expecting not just a bowl bid, they're expecting a big bowl bid.
There's no reason why we shouldn't have the same opportunity as anyone else to win the conference.
As the Illini prepare for a season as the hunted in the Big Ten.
College football is a what have you done for me lately kind of world, so you got to get it done every day.
Illinois football, The Journey, Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern, only on the Big Ten Network. The one show that covers everything Big Ten. Big Ten Tonight. Get football news from people dialed into the conference all week long.
The running game all starts with Keith Williams.
Exclusive interviews.
I don't think about the last this or the last that.
And expert analysis of the games and matchups that matter to you.
Well, I see Ohio State being able to beat Southern Cal without question.
The only nightly sports show dedicated to the Big Ten. Big Ten Tonight, every night, only on the Big Ten Network.
Hey, you'd look good green and white.
We really think you're terrific.
Come help us defend the rock.
Well, I'm back at you.
Big W on the helmet.
You know about our Buckeye leads, right?
We got this new stadium coming.
You'd look great in black and gold. We're the cradle quarterbacks.
Do you like roses?
Look, our helmet's got wings. Come to Ohio State.
Come to Wisconsin.
Indiana.
Iowa. Purdue.
Illinois.
Michigan. Northwestern. Minnesota.
Michigan State.
Come to Penn State.
12.5 remaining. No timeouts left. Indiana by 1. Wisconsin ball. Butch for 3. Banked it in. He banked it in. And Wisconsin has held on and won at Indiana.
I told Ryan in the locker room that they discounted it because he didn't call.
This is the Big Ten Network.
This game is brought to you in part by Nissan. Nissan is the official vehicle of the Big Ten Conference. Start of the second quarter, third down now for the Wisconsin Badgers. Allen Everett to the end zone, touchdown, Wisconsin. No, incomplete. David Gilreath bobbles it. It's out of bounds. And it's going to bring up fourth down as we send it to Chicago and Dave Rebson. Dave? All right, thank you so much, Dave. So it's fourth down now for the Wisconsin Badgers. And what will they decide to do? Are they challenging? And Brett Bielema will challenge.
King the ruling on the field.
And so it is a reviewable play. And Wisconsin will challenge.
You know, you watch that play from the beginning. I mean, he was wide open. It was a good throw by Allen Everett. And you get it in the back of the end zone. I mean, that looks like a catch right there.
Yeah, it does. He's got 2 feet down,
2 feet
in control.
Down. It was in control. It came bobbled out of his hands right there at the end.
1,
you see
2.
1, 2. No, it's bobbling there. That was a good call. That's not a touchdown.
Great angle on the backside.
Yeah, it was. Good zoom in. But you got to say to yourself, you know, this is David Gilreath's first start at wide receiver. And, you know, he has to improve on his concentration skills. I mean, but he clearly has a talent to get open and show that he's shifty and quick. But you got to concentrate better to hold on to the football. This is Michigan. That's a tough play to swallow.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Incomplete pass. Be 4th down.
So it does bring up 4th down. He didn't have control. A great camera angle on the backside. But you also have to give credit to Brian Williams, the converted running back, who was outstanding in coverage.
Yes.
Philip Welch now, the true freshman. They say he is confident and cocky, and he's going to handle field goal PATs. And he's showing why he's so confident as he splits the uprights. The 12th ranked Badgers lead 17-0.
Hey, honey, 2 shampoos.
Maybe they're just buying you off so you write a good review.
It's working. It's working. They got me. It's working.
A million guest reviews from people like you. Welcome to Hotels.com.
I get out and I ride with my buddies every weekend, you know. We go out and get after it. Like today, we hit one section when everyone stopped, second guessed it. I just kept going. Rock here, rock there. I just got a handful, and there she went.
True all-wheel drive, new active descent control, legendary ride and handling. Polaris, the world's toughest ATVs. Polaris Power Play Sales Event. Get to your participating dealer for up to $800 in rebates and as low as 3.99% APR on select ATVs.
Made from fresh tomatoes living happily together with spicy green chilies. The bold flavor of Rotel gives your queso a kick. Spice things up with Rotel.
Such thing as too much performance, especially when it comes to high-yielding mycogen brand grain corn hybrids.
Next Saturday, it's another exciting football doubleheader on the Big Ten Network. First, Travis Beckham looks to show why he's one of the nation's best when he leads the Badgers into a collision with a thundering herd. Then, under the lights in Bloomington, Marcus Thigpen powers the Hoosiers against Murray State. Coverage starts with a Big Ten football Saturday pregame show. Next Saturday, only on the Big Ten Network.
It was a season to remember last year in Champaign, and now the Illini look to prove it was no fluke. Go behind the scenes with Coach Ron Zook and the Illini all season long on Illinois Football. The Journey premieres this Tuesday, September 2nd on the Big Ten Network. And so 3 possessions and 3 scores for the Wisconsin Badgers. And the Badgers lead 17-0 after the Philip Welch field goal. And Anderson cuts back, and a big pickup there as he is stopped finally at the 27-yard line. We have not received word as to why Brian Williams and/or Andre Jones are not back. Instead, Johnson is back. And remember that Brian Williams, he is second in the NCAA in kick return average with 31.9. But instead it is Johnson. So here's an offense that has been stymied all day long. They have just 5 total yards. And the inside handoff once again trying to create some yards. And Johnson, Andrew Johnson, the redshirt senior, is stopped by McFadden and Levy.
You know, you watched that offense just now, and they have some tools up front. It's just more or less just sticking to their guns and not wavering from what's called.
200 total yards for the Badgers. And another gift on the inside And Andrew Johnson is stopped by Levy. Let's send it down to Jay Wilson with the special guest. Jay?
All right, Matt. Devin Harris, one of the great basketball stars in the history of Wisconsin basketball, now with the New Jersey Nets. And you're just looking around, getting back, saying, man, they never had all this when I was here.
No, they didn't have any of this stuff. But it's great to come back and just see everything and the way it's building up. And obviously, they're doing a great job out there.
How's your NBA career going?
Oh, I can't complain. I'm in a great team, great organization, and I'm truly blessed.
And what about the atmosphere on a game day for Badger football? Can't beat it.
Yeah, can't beat it. I mean, I just re-rolled in school, and I just came out here just to kind of get the student atmosphere again. And it's always a great place to come.
It's about time to get back to work for the NBA.
Definitely.
All right, Devin Harris, back to you, Matt.
All right, thanks so much. Great to see Devin Harris as Dennis Kennedy is on the carry. McFadden with the stop. One of the great trades last year in the NBA as Devin Harris was traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the New Jersey Nets. And he has free reign in New Jersey. And, of course, the Dallas Mavericks did pick up Jason Kidd, but they didn't get what they wanted out of the deal. And in the long term, with the youth and energy and the style of play with Devin Harris, he is spectacular and an all-star in the working. Oh, in and out of the hands of Andre Jones.
Wow, that's a tough one to swallow there because it was a good play-action pass initially and good protection initially, and they just caught the Badgers on their heels just then. You know, even the Badgers even dropped the defensive linemen into coverage, and they still couldn't get the coverage shored up. That's a tough one to swallow, though.
And Jack O'Main was right on target out of the shotgun. They spread it out. Two wide receivers to the right. And a give to Bruce, Jeremy Bruce, who is in motion. And Bruce has a first down and into Badger territory before McFadden tracks him down.
You know, going back to Jack O'Main, I mean, you can look at that previous play, and he has great pocket presence. But here right now, I mean, this is just a give and go to number 12. He comes around, just shows that he has good athleticism and speed, and it was just a good block on the edge as well.
Jeremy Bruce on the carry. And no yardage there for the Akron Zips. And Jack O'Main loses 2 yards. DeAndre Levy, the senior captain. Both Levy and Jonathan Casillas have started every game alongside each other the last 2 years, except for this one. Casillas not playing, led the team in tackles last year with 96. Did he reel it in this time? It is caught. And Darren Bowser on the reception.
That was just a great play by Darren Bowser, catching that pass on Jay Valet. I mean, he's supposed to be the heart and soul of this defense, hard-hitting safety. They caught the Wisconsin Badgers in man-to-man defense and just burned them on that play.
26-yard pickup. And Akron now starting to click. Alex Allen, and a flag is down. You see the horse collar. Niles Brinkley, and that is something that you cannot do. A horse collar, and one of the points of emphasis.
I mean, it looks like it's a sign of fatigue. I mean, as soon as you're this early on in the game and guys are kind of starting to give up big plays. I mean, that was just a good read by the running back there, and that's just a you never want to see these type of plays. I mean, that penalty is built in there for the safety of the players so that guys don't get hurt. You think back to when T.O. had gotten brought down that way and broke his leg. You never want to see those plays.
It's a new rule. The committee addresses a potential hazard to a ball carrier that is grabbed by the inside collar of the jersey or shoulder pad and quickly jerked down. Dennis Kennedy, and Dennis Kennedy. Let's send it back to Chicago and Dave Rebson.
Well, let's update you on what's going on between Indiana and Western Kentucky. Matt, Kellen Lewis, this is why he is so valuable to this Indiana team. Takes it 75 yards for the touchdown. They lead the Hilltoppers 10-0, second quarter.
Thanks so much, Dave. Matt Shaughnessy with the stop. High formation. In the backfield for the Akron Zips, Joe Tuzzi, the fullback, Dennis Kennedy. Play action into the end zone. Touchdown, Akron.
Wow.
Poindexter,
nice
the tight end.
You know, you watch that offense, they come out in the iron formation versus going through what they've been doing most of the game in the shotgun or single back. And they're just showing different looks and making this into a ball game, showing that, look, we might not have all the tools up front, or we might not have all the big numbers, but we're not coming here to lay down either.
Well, it looks as though they just are more comfortable after that last possession in which they had so many penalties. They came back out after the field goal by the Wisconsin Badgers, and they marched right down and scored against a very stiff Wisconsin Badger defense.
Flush out the old, pour in the new. Get Advance Auto Parts 50/50 antifreeze for just $6.98 a gallon. Sale ends August 30th. So whatever you're working on, Advance will help you keep the wheels turning.
A work of art, a finely tuned machine, a sanctuary, a command center, a sophisticated sedan, a sports car. Together. Introducing the all-new Nissan Maxima, the four-door sports car. Lease a new 2009 Nissan Maxima for $339 a month for 39 months.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Yeah, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my friends.
At Hampton, we love having you here.
Countless accolades, multiple championships, no equal. Suzuki. Tonight on the Big Ten Network, it's a non-conference showdown in the Dome as Adam Weber and the Gophers seek pay dirt early and often when they square off with Northern Illinois. Tonight in high def, only on the Big Ten Network.
Illinois football, The Journey, Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern, only on the Big Ten Network.
Allen Everidge has handled himself well as the Badgers lead 17-7.
You know, you watch Allen Everidge today, and he's delivering the football well, tight spirals down the side to Garrett Graham, and then another one to Kyle Jefferson, the big physical receiver who's tough. Then he catches David Gilreath in his debut as a wide receiver, and then he catches Kyle Jefferson. I mean, he's just having a phenomenal day today.
What a big return by David Gilreath. A flag at the end of the play. David Gilreath, great cutback at midfield. The kickoff from Igor Ivelchek, and you see the great wall that was established in Gilreath. This cutback right there.
And he shows why he's a top big-time kick returner in this league. I mean, he just reads a block from that middle wedge, guys, reads the defense, reads what's coming at him, and finishes the play. He has the speed. I mean, I've even heard that he runs a 4.39 40-yard dash. I mean, that's speed for you, man.
That's like you. 15-yard face mask penalty against the Akron Zips. And so here are the Wisconsin Badgers after a tremendous return and a penalty against the Zips. And they're inside the 20, knocking at the door once again. Allen Everidge. Under center in the backfield is P.J. Hill. Hill is 15th career 100-yard rushing day. And Hill on the inside. Campbell comes up to try to make the stop. And he's gang tackled at the 10-yard line.
You know, this is one of those things. One thing I just got to call it intangible. You know, when P.J. Hill gets that ball, he makes initial contact, and then you watch his feet. They just keep churning and churning and churning. Here, we take a look at this play again. I mean, here he comes, he reads it, takes the initial contact, and right there when he's going down, you see the feet just never stop. It takes about 4 or 5 guys to lay on him to stop his feet.
The junior now 8th all-time in rushing yards. He may cross 3,000 today. P.J. Hill barreling ahead inside the 5-yard line.
You know, anytime a quarterback gives a hard count and you see the defense almost jump off sides, I mean, more times than not, you got to count that as going to be either a first down or misplay, because it tells you that the defensive line is thinking too much at this point in time instead of just going.
David Gilreath, a 63-yard return, a career long for him, has set this up. P.J. Hill, I formation. Rentmeester, the fullback. Graham in motion. The handoff, P.J. Hill. Hill loses the ball. And it is not scooped up. It rolls out of the end zone. And now the officials will meet and talk to see if the ball was down.
Matt, I tell you right now.
The ball was fumbled before it went into the end zone. It rolled out of the end zone. It's a touchback.
Matt, I tell you, you know, that's one thing that's always preached when you're talking about a running back, and that's ball security. You come down this far to the end zone and
yeah, he was reaching
there.
over. He was reaching over, trying to lean in with it.
And you just want to hold on to that football versus giving the team another chance, because this is a tight ball game. It's 17-7.
And so now a touchback instead of a scoring drive, and it's the first time for the Badgers that they have had possession of the ball and then they have not scored. And Jack Romaine, let's see if the confidence from the last possession carries over now for the Akron Zips at 17-7. Inside give. And the handoff in a couple of yards, stacked up and stopped by the Wisconsin Badgers is Andrew Johnson. And talking to the head coach of the Akron Zips, J.D. Brookhart, he said, listen, I got 3 running backs. Dennis Kennedy, Alex Allen, and Andrew Johnson. And he said, I have depth there, and I'm going to use them. And he has done that thus far.
Yeah, they came out.
Play action. Jack Romaine looks up top, and he overthrows his intended receiver, Darren Bowser.
You know, they're just showing Wisconsin defense multiple looks, you know, coming in with 2 backs in the backfield, kind of a pro-style offense, and then just taking advantage of what the defense is giving to them. You know, when they run that zone, I mean, you have too many seams and openings that come, and they're just taking advantage of those plays. But you look at that and you want to hope that the receiver or the quarterback can get a better timing.
3rd and 7 now. Jack Romaine slings it to the near side. Caught by Alfonso Owen and stopped by Mike Newkirk as we check in once again with Dave Revson in Chicago.
Okay, Matt, want to update you on Coastal Carolina and Penn State. After the Chanticleers had scored a touchdown to cut the lead to 14-7, Derek Williams takes the ensuing kickoff and takes it back 89 yards for the touchdown. That puts the Nittany Lions on top 21-7. That's where it stands right now in the second.
Dennis Kennedy looking to get outside before he is tracked down and stopped by Levy. DeAndre Levy with the tackle, and another impressive drive now by the Akron Zips. Their last drive, 10 plays, 72 yards, total 4 minutes. Their first 2 drives combined for 7 plays, 10 yards, and 3 minutes and 17 seconds. Jack Romaine, they're mixing it up to the air, and it is caught by Darren Bowser. Bowser had a big catch for 26 yards in their last drive, and he's come up big here twice once again instead of Andre Jones, who's dropped a couple of passes.
You know, you watch this play here, I mean, it's just good protection, and they kind of made it look like play action pass, catching the defense in that zone again and taking advantage of what's given to them.
18 yards for the Zips. 1st down and 10 at the 45-yard line of the Badgers. Handoff. Dennis Kennedy, and he is stopped by McFadden, almost developing a pattern of going to the air, handing off, going back to the air, handoff.
Well, you know, it's, again, like what J.D. Brookhart was talking about the other day is, you know, he's going to run this no huddle to keep the defense on their heels. They're coming at him with multiple sets, whether it's I formation, whether you got two backs, whether it's shotgun, and they're taking advantage of also, too, the Wisconsin Badgers sitting in that zone.
Out of the shotgun, as you mentioned, two wide receivers to the top and two to the bottom. Bruce. And nothing happening there as O'Brien Schofield and Mario Goins, a true freshman, come up and make the stop. Some trickery.
That's kind of a tough one. I mean, you look at what they've been doing thus far, and you kind of say to yourself, well, you want them to stick to their guns and stick to what they've been doing. Kind of run a little bit of a trick pass play. And that time, Wisconsin was all over it.
Brings up 3rd and long. (17-7), the Badgers on top. Jack Romaine, and it is dropped. And the pass dropped.
It was just good pressure up front by the Badger defense getting to the quarterback. As you take a look here, the right tackle, Corey Woods, has just been having trouble all day. And the pass rush got there a little too soon.
Brandon Williams, the senior from Tampa, Florida. And 4th down. And you see how they are lined up. Back to punt. John Steck. One of the things Brett Bielema mentioned to us, that he's going to keep his defensive personnel out on the field for punt. Save, no. Almost for the Zips. Instead, Badgers will go to work from their own 20 when we return.
After 110 minutes of play, still no score. He puts it away here. He wins it. Oh, my goodness! And Rowe can't get it by. Are you kidding me? No, Daniel Kelly misses it. And Latcher with the save. If it's in, the Buckeyes win. They're off. And there's a new king of the hill in the Big Ten, the Ohio State Buckeyes, your 2007 Big Ten men's soccer champions.
Scalpel.
Scalpel?
I'm going to make the bilateral incision now. Oh, now, wait a second.
Doctor, what is it?
Badgers must have scored.
This is Big Ten country. And this is where it lives.
Big Ten Football Saturday, next week, only on the Big Ten Network.
Exciting football doubleheader on the Big Ten Network. First, Travis Beckham looks to show why he's one of the nation's best when he leads the Badgers into a collision with a thundering herd. Then, under the lights in Bloomington, Marcus Thigpen powers the Hoosiers against Murray State. Coverage starts with the Big Ten Football Saturday pregame show. Next Saturday, only on the Big Ten Network.
One of the great scenes in college football, Ian. Camp Randall on a Saturday. The last weekend of August. College football is here in Big Ten country, and the Badgers lead 17-7. And P.J. Hill has had a huge day. His 15th 100-yard-plus day on the ground.
You know, you talk P.J. Hill, and Coach Bielema calls us as a quiet guy, and quite frankly, he doesn't need to talk. He just shows what he has for you on the field. What you see is what you get. I mean, right there, he just shows his great vision and tenacity of how his running style is when he runs the football.
And talking to Brett Bielema, he said PJ looks as good as he has ever looked. And you see why right here. PJ Hill once again. And Hill close to a first down, and he may have it. He already has passed Rufus Ferguson for 8th all-time in rushing yards. Of course, Ferguson played here 1970 to 72.
I mean, he just comes again bulldozing through the line of scrimmage and showing you why he is a powerful back. Look at that. I mean, he just waves his hand and says, get off me, get off my block.
You like blocking for a guy like that, don't you? P.J. Hill straight up the gut once again. Cutback looking for a block. P.J. Hill finally brought down at the 45.
You know, being a former offensive lineman, I mean, he's a guy you wish that you play for, that plays for you. I mean, watch here, he just shows again that, you know, he's a big-time back. And one thing that Coach Bielema was talking about is right now is he going to be good or is he great? And right now today he's showing that he's trying to make that transition and to be considered great.
The offensive coordinator Paul Chryst telling us, you know, he can be a big-time back. He's kind of at that fork in the road. What do you want to be? You want to be one of the all-time greats? He's already in elite company here. And they stick to the ground, and this time John Clay, and he is brought down by Tyler Campbell. P.J. Hill won 3 all-time for the Badgers to rush for 1,000+ yards in his first 2 years, and he joins Ron Dane and Anthony Davis. Elite company, and then you back him up with somebody like Zach Brown, who last year had, you know, big-time numbers against Michigan as well as the Gophers. Brown in the backfield. Everidge, you have to feel comfortable when you have Zach Brown and P.J. Hill. Hands it off. Zach Brown tearing through the defense of the Akron Zips and finally pushed back at the 40-yard line of Akron, led by Tyler Campbell.
You know, Zach Brown is one of those guys who's just chomping at the bit behind P.J. Probably saying, I can't wait for this kid to graduate, but look at this play here. I mean, he shows that he's got tenacity as well. And they're just two. They essentially have somewhat of the same style of running, but Zach Brown's just a little bit more shifty and a little bit more quicker in his cuts.
12-yard gain. 7 straight runs by the Badgers behind that impressive offensive line. Everidge, first down from the 40. The give off the right side, Zach Brown, and once again into the secondary, and a gain of 5.
I mean, can I say David Gilreath or, you know, or Garrett Graham or somebody else besides Zach Brown or P.J. Hill? These boys are balling out here today. I mean, they're really taking it to these guys and showing what they're made of this afternoon.
Well, you have to give credit right there. Gabe Karimi, Andy Kemp, John Moffitt getting his first start at center. Last year, he started the last 6 games at left guard. Craig Urbick, and of course Eric Vandenheuvel. And that's what the Badgers have. That's what they run behind, and they run for a first down. And once again, it is Zach Brown. So now 9 straight rushes for the Wisconsin Badgers. And this is an offensive line that we've talked about. Look at him go to work up front.
I mean, you see how he just, Gabe Karimi just twists the guy out, and that's what you want. You know, watching him on tape, it's beautiful to watch. You see these guys take one step, the offensive line moves in sync and moves everybody off the football at the same time. That's what you want, and that's what you expect.
6'8", 301. Andy Kemp is 6'6", 315. Everidge keeps it himself to the near side, and he barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. In fact, may come up a little bit short. Evan Lobby, the junior, on the stop. 1:40 remaining here in this first half. 28 carries, 208 yards combined for the Wisconsin Badgers on the ground. Zach Brown, the lone back. Brown to the near side. Brown past the 25 and finally knocked out of bounds by Tyler Campbell at the 20-yard line.
I tell you what, the big boy was on his horse coming around that corner. He pulled around the corner, center, John Moffitt, look at it.
Look at that.
He's high stepping. Zach Brown reads him and hurdles him, and that's what you want out of your front and out of your back to read off of his blocks.
That's a 6'4", 323 on an 85-degree day, pulling it and setting things up for Zach Brown.
My hamstrings are tight just thinking about that.
Everidge, here's Brown. Brown runs into a wall, but he bounces away and picks up a yard.
Going back,
Cole Stewart
going
has
back,
a tackle.
Going back to that play. Those are the type of plays as an offensive lineman you watch in the film room and you rewind it about 100 times and make jokes because his arms were pumping and his legs were not really moving.
Oh, come on now. They were moving enough to lay somebody out. Out of the shotgun. Everidge with plenty of time. Pressure now off the edge and across the middle. And it is caught by Lance Kendricks. Lance Kendricks, the sophomore. And Wisconsin is going to take a timeout with 47 seconds remaining in the first half.
You know, Lance Kendricks is a guy that's waiting in the wings as well, and Hilmo is pretty high on him as well for the tight end position. You know, you got Travis Beckham, Garrett Graham, and Lance Kendricks. I mean, you got a good group of guys, and then you got to look at the way that Allen Everidge is handling his start on offense right now. He's showing good pocket presence and delivering football on time. There's no timing issues except for the one where his decision-making skills could have come into play, but he gets rid of the football on time and makes things happen.
Allen Everidge, you see Dustin Shear, who lost out to Allen Everidge in a quarterback battle. Very similar to last year with Tyler Donovan for the Wisconsin Badgers. Everidge was there pushing him, and Donovan won out.
And it kind of sounded as if Everidge was going to take over that battle last year, but he ended up getting hampered by a hamstring injury, and Tyler Donovan just took advantage of that and just took over the helm at the quarterback position last year.
And you mentioned this at the top, manage the game, and that's all they need out of Allen Everidge. Every now and again, yes, you're going to be in a position where you must come up with making a play, but other than that, with that offensive line, with the receivers they have, especially at the tight end position, in the running game, manage it. And he has up to this point. 2nd and 2, 47 seconds remaining. Everidge out of the pocket, running to the near side, tucks it under. Everidge reaching over to the goal line, and he is stopped just shy of the goal line, and that's exactly what we were just talking about. Every now and again, you must make a play, and Allen Everidge does there.
And on this play here, I mean, he sees that there's nobody open, and he just decides to tuck it away and make a smart decision with the football. Instead of just trying to make something happen on your feet. Great management of the football game.
And flags all over the place as Everidge hurries up and he gets back to the line of scrimmage at his first down. He wanted to spike it there with 35 seconds remaining. More than enough time, though, for the Wisconsin Badgers to handle things here. And you see the officials coming together.
Illegal substitution on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Wanted to catch Akron off guard, and illegal substitution.
You know, those kinds of things, you never want those things to happen, but this is game one. They're kind of expected to, you know, guys get confused. You know, you have different packages as far as once you get to the 20 and beyond, you come in and this receiver comes out. So you're going to have some confusion at time to time, but you don't want that to take place, especially in game 2 or game 3.
So 1st and goal to go for the Badgers. Instead of at the 1-yard line, they operate from their 7. Everidge to the air, intercepted. And the return, Brian Williams, the former running back, all the way to the 36-yard line of the Wisconsin Badgers, and a huge mistake by Allen Everidge at the end of the first half. He has set up on a spectacular return by Brian Williams.
Wow, I mean, I can't just say, I can't really count that on Everidge. That was just great coverage by Brian Williams, the converted DB. I mean, he just gets the ball. Take a look here, and Everidge just delivers supposed to be like a post, a deep post. That was kind of underthrown there when you look at it again.
To the inside shoulder, too.
Yeah.
You got to go to the outside.
You got to go to the outside into the end zone.
Yeah, that's not where you want to put the ball.
No.
Jack Wilmaine with time. Jack Wilmaine, and it is caught by Miller. And he is out of bounds at the 20-yard line. And here they go to work with 16 seconds remaining. And so instead of the Badgers getting on the board here, the Akron Zips. 64-yard return by Brian Williams. And Jack Wilmaine and the Zips showing some comfort and some confidence here. Under pressure, Jack Wilmaine in and out of the hands of Jeremy Bruce.
Yeah, Wisconsin is back there, you know, kind of in the zone man-to-man defense. And they're also bringing some pressure off the edge and asking their front four to, hey, you got to put some pressure on this QB. I know we've got ourselves in a tough situation here, but put a little pressure on him and try to make something happen.
Second down now from the 20-yard line of the Badgers with 11 seconds remaining. Certainly time enough to run a couple of plays. In field goal range already for Igor Velchek. Jack Wilmaine over the middle, and he has Alex Allen timeout. And now 6 seconds remaining. Do they want to take one shot to the end zone here as McFadden makes the stop?
You know, Jack Wilmaine right now is just picking his team apart, picking that zone, finding the spots, and throwing the ball on time. You know, you look here, the pass protection was kind of shaky, but he delivers it on time, and Javery McFadden is there to make the play. But in this part of your field on defense, you kind of want to question, do you want to run man or do you want to run zone? I think that the zone can kind of set you up for getting a underneath pass. You know, it's too close to the end zone.
Brett Bielema has seen a couple of things go sideways here in the second quarter. One being a fumble by P.J. Hill out of the end zone. It was a touchback for Akron, and then Allen Everidge. We talked about managing the game, making a play right after that. Illegal substitution, penalty, backs him up, and then to the end zone, throws to the inside shoulder instead of the outside shoulder. Picked off, 64-yard return by Brian Williams, and Chris Jack Wilmaine showing that maturity that they have talked about and speaking to their coaching staff. And timeout taken once again by the Akron Zips with 6 seconds remaining here in this first half.
You know, you got to be thinking pass if you're Wisconsin defense right now. You got to be thinking a quick pass into probably one of the corners of the end zone just to see if maybe they can get a jump ball out of this deal or see if they can get a quick 6 points. But if not, you just kick the field goal.
Well, you know what? They're not even going to try for the end zone. They're going to bring out Igor Velchek. In the second quarter, the Zips have 146 total yards. Akron has been the dominant performer offensively. Wisconsin with 97 yards. So Igor Velchek, last year, 15 of 18, the native of Bosnia, and his long was 51 yards. So this is right in his wheelhouse. Velchek right through the uprights, and it's 17-10 Badgers. The Zips taking advantage of the interception by Brian.
I was talking about in your quarterback, you know, it's a big-time game. The pass is delivered on time, and wow, what a hit by Javery McFadden, the speedy middle linebacker.
McFadden, the junior, 6'3", 220, so athletic in the middle, can do so much. Inside handoff, Johnson and O'Brien Schofield. Newkirk is there as well.
You know, when you talk about Jockman and going back to J.D. Brookhart, I think this will be a good testament, a chance to see what is Jockman made of in the second half. You know, he was a great finisher in the first half, all of last season, one of the top passers in the college football. on the first half, and now you get a chance to see what he's made of now.
Well, you know, that's what J.D. Brookhart mentioned to us when we spoke to him. He said, can he sustain what he does in the first half? It wasn't necessarily the first quarter. It was more or less the second quarter. He was 7 of 14, 85 yards, and that pass is incomplete. Darren Bowser drops it. It was thrown behind him, and that's a little bit of what J.D. Brookhart was talking about.
Sure, you know, and Bowser's been doing a good job of getting open all afternoon. Yes, the ball was underthrown, but you kind of expect him to pull it in the way he's been playing this afternoon.
Gilreath is back to return for the Wisconsin Badgers. And instead of starting at the 40-yard line, the penalty all the way back to the 8 for the Akron Zips. And here they are with John Steck, the left-footed punter, is set up right at his own goal line. Steck gets it off. High booming kick. And a fair catch, rarely seen out of David Gilreath. And Gilreath will reel it in at the 45-yard line.
You know, you're watching it back there, and the ball is coming to him high. But he's probably saying to himself, I'm midfield. I'd love to have enough space to catch this ball and run with it.
Tonight on the Big Ten Network, Adam Weber and the Gophers look to start the season off right as they battle a tough Northern Illinois squad. Tonight at 7 Eastern on the Big Ten Network. Everidge puts Graham into motion. P.J. Hill. P.J. Hill racked up 150 yards in the first half. And he shuffles outside and will pick up a couple as Brian Williams, who had that interception at the end of the first half, comes up to make the stop for the Akron Zips. P.J. Hill, 16 carries, 150 yards. The long was 46, and he averaged just over 9 per carry.
I mean, they're going to have to really ride on P.J. Hill this afternoon, you know, and hope that Everidge makes better decisions.
Rentmeester barrels ahead, and Rentmeester will have the first down with a little bit of second effort. And he is stopped by Elmondo Sewell. Sewell, the sophomore, and a returning starter.
You know, they're making changes on defense and really crowding the box with around 8, 9 guys and trying to make a stand, and you kind of almost get a little empathetic with the guys and say, you know, I wish you could bring a blitz or two.
Well, this is a defensive line that's missing 2 key components. To the outside. P.J. Hill to the edge and more. Cutback. P.J. Hill ridden out of bounds at the 10-yard line. P.J. Hill with a 34-yard pickup. And Wayne Cobham finally shoves him out of bounds. And what a great cutback.
And Matt, I tell you, that was all P.J. Hill there. You know, there was kind of a misdirection play up front, and he just takes it outside, and look at that. Just swipes the guy and just says, you know, he has great vision and great balance. And here's the cut here. He gives a couple of stutter steps and just shows that he has good balance and athleticism to stay up. And even there at the end of the play, it still took more than one guy to bring him down.
They stay on the ground. Everidge hands it off. P.J. Hill cuts back inside, and they'll pick up a couple. And it's going to be now 2nd and 8 as Tyler Campbell makes the stop. 191 yards for P.J. Hill. What an afternoon for this junior. Health is certainly a concern. He has been slowed at times over the last 2 years, but one of 3 all-time to rush for more than 1,000+ yards in his first 2 years. And he's in great company. P.J. Hill, can he get outside? Not this time. Zips do a great job led by Doug Williams, outside linebacker, coming over and containing him.
Sure, you know, in this Akron defense, that's one thing that they're going to have to do if they're going to try to win this ball game is swarm to the football. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but get all 11 guys to the football to bring a guy down if they want to win this game.
J.D. Brookhart telling us as P.J. Hill just gets a blow. It is hot down there, folks. But he said this is a Badger team. They can run against Ohio State, so they're going to be able to run against us. We just got to stop the long run. Set up 3rd and long. Inside give. Spinning. And Zach Brown down to the 1-yard line. And Campbell on the scene for Akron.
And again, Zach Brown is a great compliment to P.J. Hill. And you watch those two blockers right there. Again, down to here in this line of scrimmage, close to the end zone, the C parts, and Zach Brown just runs through.
You know, under Brett Bielema, the Badgers are 12-0 when they combine to rush for over 200 yards. Well, they did that in the first half. However, just a couple of miscues by the Badgers, and the Zips right back in this game. And a timeout taken by the Wisconsin Badgers. They don't want to let this opportunity slip away. Remember, they have been down here twice at the end of the first half, and it led to a fumble and then an interception. And here they are once again. And goal to go. Less than a yard for the Badgers. P.J. Hill barreling through the right side. P.J. Hill and the Badgers. Touchdown. His second rushing touchdown of the day. And he has now 19 in August and September. That is second most among active players in the NCAA, right behind Jaworski Lane, Texas A&M, who has 20.
You know, you watch that play, that's a great testament to his vision and his balance, because if it wasn't for P.J. Hill moving out of the way of that tackle, the defense had a good defense dialed up. Well, and he just got out of the way of that play and made the touchdown.
Puts it through the uprights. 31 now career rushing touchdowns for number 31. P.J. Hill.
I get out and I ride with my buddies every weekend, you know. We go out and get after it. Like today, we hit one section when everyone stopped, second guessed it. I just kept going. Rock here, rock there. I just got a handful, and there she went.
True all-wheel drive, new active descent control, legendary ride and handling. Polaris, the world's toughest ATVs. Polaris Power Play sales event. Get to your participating dealer for up to $800 in rebates and as low as 3.99% APR on select ATVs.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Yeah, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my friends.
At Hampton, we love having you here.
Tonight on the Big Ten Network, it's a non-conference showdown in the Dome as Adam Weber and the Gophers seek pay dirt early and often when they square off with Northern Illinois. Tonight in high def, only on the Big Ten Network.
Well, here we go. They're trying to become bowl eligible. They have a sellout crowd. They're playing their in-state rival. And they're playing after losing their head coach to brain cancer. The snap, the hold, the kick, it is good. The Indiana Hoosiers will play in a 13th game.
Looking to enhance your game day experience? Presenting the Rotel Ultimate Tailgate Package Sweepstakes. You could win an incredible grand prize package featuring a grill, barbecue set, delicious Rotel products, and everything else you'll need to support your team, or other great weekly prizes. To enter, log on to BigTenNetwork.com and fill out an entry form, or send a postcard to the address on your screen. Don't miss out. Enter the Rotel Ultimate Tailgate Package Sweepstakes today. Illinois football, The Journey, Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern, only on the Big Ten Network.
Time to revisit the Suzuki ATV's keys to the game.
You know, you watch this here, you know, the Wisconsin Badgers have rushed the football for 283 yards, and that's what they need to do, and stay healthy is the key.
Badgers lead now 24-10. And P.J. Hill now 7th all-time in the rushing with 2,995 yards. Larry Emery was passed, and P.J. Hill just 5 yards away from 3,000. And now they're going to put a holder on it, as Philip Welch was having difficulty with football staying on the tee. Andrew Johnson is back along with Brian Williams, and it's a short kick, pooched to the 20 and scooped up by Doug Williams, who's trying to do a little nifty footwork. The linebacker spins away, and the kickoff coverage team of the Wisconsin Badgers, Brett Bielema, not wanting to obviously have another big kick return, and so he decides to go short.
Exactly. You know, it was just a good job of coverage by the Wisconsin Badgers and getting to the football and making a tackle.
Jack LeMaine, and flag down.
There's just too many flags at this point in this football game, especially for Akron.
71 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And Mike Ward with the false start. Since the beginning of the 2002 season, only one FBS team has been better in regular season non-conference games than Wisconsin. They have been dominant. The Badgers' lone loss was to UNLV during the 2003 season. Georgia, the Bulldogs, preseason ranked #1. The give on the left side, fumble. Badgers pick it up, and the defense comes up big as the Badgers come away with the fumble recovery by Dennis Kennedy, and it's picked up by Alan Langford. And let's send it down to Jay Wilson with our Liberty Mutual Alumni Spotlight. Jay?
All right, Matt, thanks a lot. A special day here at Camp Randall, the reunion, a 10-year reunion of the 1998 Big Ten champions and the 1999 Rose Bowl winners. One of the co-captains of the team, Donnell Thompson, is here. And Donnell, what's it like catching up with everybody?
It's amazing to get a chance to see your teammates, but really your family. Really, it's unbelievable. And then come back on game day and see everybody. It's unbelievable.
The guys haven't changed a bit in 10 years, have they?
Little weight put on, possibly, but it's really good. It's really good. It's like we haven't missed a day.
You have an interesting comment. You talked to these guys, the current Badgers, a couple weeks ago. What'd they tell you?
You know what? It was really good to get a chance to come back and talk to the guys. It's a really young team with a lot of good players, and I think they have a really successful season.
And they had no idea what 1999 was, did it?
No, I was an ancient guy. They couldn't remember back. A lot of these guys were 10 years old then.
All right, Donnell, good to see you again.
Thank you.
Let's go back up to Matt.
All right, thanks so much, Jay. Great to see Donnell. A fumble recovery by Alan Langford, who spent 9 months rehabbing his knee after surgery, and he said, I want to show that that knee's not affecting me, and he showed it right there. And P.J. Hill, second consecutive carry as Sean Lemon comes in and makes a stop for the Akron Zips.
You know, that's what they're doing right now on defense. Their backs are against the wall. And yes, you know, they're probably tired of getting on the field as often as they are, but they're still swarming to the ball and trying to make plays.
P.J. Hill will take a break. In the backfield is Zach Brown in motion. Garrett Graham. Average rolls out, throws to the right. It is caught, first down. David Gilreath on the reception. And a first down for the Badgers, Ian.
You know, I thought that was a great call by Paul Christ, you know, to try to settle the player down and give him a play where it's a comfortable play where he can just roll out of the pocket and deliver it to his receiver, where he doesn't have to worry about whether or not can it be deflected, can it be picked. Just a nice, comfortable play to play action pass to boot right and give it to David Gilreath.
You saw that great protection by this offensive line. Gilreath gives it John Clay. The highly touted redshirt freshman from Racine will lean ahead and fight for a couple. Going to be second down now for the Badgers. Over the last 4 years, the Badgers have the second best home record in the country. They're trailing only Boise State. Badgers are 25-1 during that stretch as Clay is replaced on the field. And Boise State 26-1. And Brett Bielema 21-5 coming in. Entering his third year, done an outstanding job. And a give, Zach Brown.
And that was just a missed tackle by the middle linebacker for Akron. You know, he's put in a position where, you know, he didn't even have anyone coming at him to block him. And that's a play that you're supposed to make. And that's why he's supposed to be on the field, is to make that play.
Can the Badgers convert inside the 5? First and goal to go. Everett gives it Rentmeester. Rentmeester pushed back, and a shoe is lost. And it is picked up by Bellum, one of the Akron players. Now you got to tighten that thing up, put some tape around it. Ray Seiler comes in and makes a stop. And Bellum's got to leave. You don't want to leave the action with an untied shoe.
No, absolutely not. You got to tie that thing up a little tighter.
Yeah, double knot it.
Especially this close to the end zone.
Second and goal to go, Badgers. Everett gives it Zach Brown. It's his turn for a touchdown. Zach Brown rumbles in.
Wow, you watch that play there, and it's just as what Coach Bielema was talking about yesterday, about how he pulls his offensive line. And that play looked like they pulled not one, not two, but just about 3 guys to the right-hand side. And Zach Brown just followed his lead blockers, or his convoy, and just walked into the end zone.
Behind that big offensive line that averages 6'6", and just a shade, just a donut away from 320. Philip Welch. And it is good, 31-10. And Zach Brown, who had 5 rushing touchdowns a season ago, gets his first of the 2008 campaign. Badgers up.
Another exciting football doubleheader on the Big Ten Network. First, Travis Beckham looks to show why he's one of the nation's best when he leads the Badgers into a collision with a thundering herd. Then, under the lights in Bloomington, Marcus Thigpen powers the Hoosiers against Murray State. Coverage starts with a Big Ten football Saturday pregame show. Next Saturday, only on the Big Ten Network.
12 lead changes. 18 times. That's basketball at its most entertaining. How good is this freshman? Taylor Battle. He's the future, but tonight he's the now. That's it. Penn State for the sucker. 85-76. Penn State with one of the biggest upsets of this Big Ten campaign.
The one show that covers everything Big Ten. Big Ten Tonight. Get football news from people dive into the conference all week long.
The running game all stars with Juice Williams.
Exclusive interviews.
I don't think about the last this or the last that.
And expert analysis of the games and matchups that matter to you.
You know, I see Ohio State being able to beat Southern Cal without question.
The only nightly sports show dedicated to the Big Ten. Big Ten Tonight. Every night. Only on the Big Ten Network.
Now, time for Nissan's What It Takes to Get There. This week we focus on the Wisconsin Badgers. 25 days of practice, 2 hours a day, and of course 5 two-a-days. Nissan Shift Performance. And taken by Johnson once again. Johnson with another big return for the Akron Zips, and great field position for the Akron Zips to begin after 7 plays. 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and 28-yard by the Wisconsin Badgers to score. And you know what it's all about, right?
I tell you, look at that 25 days of practice and 5 two-a-days and 4 night practices. Man, that's a training camp is a grind. But I tell you, these guys are getting over with these 5 two-a-days. I believe we had about 14 of them when I was at Purdue.
And that doesn't even count your days in the NFL, right?
No.
Where you got to show up at the involuntary workouts that are voluntary that are involuntary. It's reverse of that. Matt Shaughnessy and Dan Moore there on the stop. And of course, you also have to remember the coaches and all that they put in. And we were talking to Brett Bielema, and he said it was great this summer because he took his parents on a cruise to Alaska. And he said his father turned 70 during the trip, and his mother had a birthday, and they celebrated their 48th wedding anniversary. Jack LeMaine across the middle. Jack LeMaine on the left hash. And it's going to be a first down and more as the Akron Zips have a first down. And that pass caught by Poindexter as a touchdown.
Jack LeMaine is really showing good poise in the pocket. He has a little pressure and he delivers the football on time. And I think he's answered those questions as far as is he just a first half player.
22-yard pickup, but wrapping up that story, Brett Bielema telling us that he said the best part of that trip, hanging out with his folks. Jack LeMaine under pressure, trying to get away, and he slides down at the 40. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Was when his dad pulled him aside and he said, you know what, son, the best part of this is that I've been able to have dinner with you 7 nights in a row. So,
yeah,
you know, you always think about the players and what they go through, but also the coaches, their families, and what a sacrifice there.
And quite frankly, I think that's the reason why I'm not coaching, because it's too much time commitment.
And Brett Bielema, great son, taking his parents on a cruise. It's great to see, too.
Full start. Number 51 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
And so a false start on the center, Elliott Bates. How is that possible? When you're the center, you're supposed to know the snap count.
Well, you know, you get in a situation where you're on the road, and I'd almost try to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that it's really loud, but I've heard Wisconsin crowd be louder than that before.
2nd and 15, backed up. Jack LeMaine under pressure. Jack LeMaine has to keep it, and he is sacked by Mike Newkirk as we go to Chicago and Dave Repson. Dave?
Well, Matt, some really distressing news for Ohio State. They are on top comfortably of Youngstown State, 26-0. But Beanie Wells going down here, fumbled the football near the goal line and came up holding onto his foot. Wells, who's battled a history of ankle problems, was not able to put any pressure on it on the way off. We will let you know as soon as we know more on the Heisman candidate.
I could actually hear it up here.
Of course, the player of the year in the Big Ten, Beanie Wells, and that is not good to see if you're a Buckeye fan. Swing it out to the outside. And Alex Allen on the reception from Jack LeMaine, and Blake Sorensen comes up to make the stop. Beanie Wells and an ankle injury.
You know, that's tough, especially when you're up as comfortable as they are in their ball game and he goes down. One of your key players goes down this early in the season. You got to hope that it's not a big-time injury, and maybe it's just a kind of a nagging thing that he can get through in a week's time.
John Steck on the punt once again for the Akron Zips, and David Agilreath backed up to his own 10-yard line. And Wisconsin defense not giving up anything there. Steck high in the air, and Gilreath telling everybody to stay away from it as it takes a Badger bounce. Go to break it. Be back after this.
Hey, honey, 2 shampoos.
Maybe they're just buying you off so you write a good review.
It's working. It's working. Ah, they got me. Ah, it's working.
A million guest reviews from people like you. Welcome to Hotels.com.
Accolades, multiple championships, no equal. Suzuki.
Made from fresh tomatoes living happily together with spicy green chilies. The bold flavor of Rotel gives your queso a kick. Spice things up with Rotel.
Second down now for the Badgers after a P.J. Hill run. And Hill, the lone back, Everidge under center. John Moffitt. The give once again straight ahead. Hill bounces away from a tackler and finally stopped by Mike Thomas.
You know, watching the blocking on that play, taking a look at the wide receiver position, they're actually getting it done up front and up in the wide receiver position, just trying to make sure that they create space for a guy like P.J. Hill. And again, non-stop. Look at those calf muscles there with the spat on his feet.
P.J. Hill. Rentmeester, the fullback, in an I formation. Third down and short. P.J. Hill muscles ahead. And P.J. Hill's going to have a first down now for the Wisconsin Badgers. And Matt Little there to make the stop. During this 14-game home winning streak, Ian, the Wisconsin Badgers have outscored their opponent 470 to 187, an average winning margin of better than 20 points per game. And the Badgers have scored at least 30 points in 11 of those 14 victories. And they continue to march on here. Zach Brown in the backfield. P.J. Hill has 210 yards, his second career 200-plus yard game. This is Zach Brown trying to get to the edge before he is ankle tied by Aaron Williams, a freshman.
And you know, Matt, returning to those stats, you know, I feel like I'm back in the meeting room right before the game, right before the season begins, and the coach is telling you how he's going to set the tone for what we're going to do in this season, what we're known for, what our tradition is, and they go through those stats just as well as how we're going through these stats today to make a statement that that's what Wisconsin football was all about, to set the stage for a football season.
Oh, Brett Bielema telling us, listen, they had 12 goals this year. He said, first year I had 7, now I have 12. He said, but a lot of them deal with just, you know, the physical nature and play and the tradition of the Wisconsin Badgers as Campbell makes his stop. But also, he said, you know, the players, he gives a senior each week to stand up and to repeat one of those goals. And he talked about Mike Newkirk and how he said, you know, hey, guys, we got to take everything personal. He said, not just game time. He said, even at practice, Sewell will jog away from the scene for the Akron Zips.
You know, that's a good statement. You know, it's more about taking it personal for the practices and being accountable as far as being in the classroom and getting your grades correct so that you're eligible and things of that nature. So, I mean, I like the fact how Brett Bielema has a good rapport with his players.
Brown on the carry, 13 for 74 yards, and we're going to have a timeout here at Camp Randall Stadium. All the Wisconsin Badgers taking the field. Zach Brown, a big day, along with P.J. Hill. Defense has been strong at times. It's 31-10.
Hey, honey, 2 shampoos.
Maybe they're just buying you off so you write a good review.
It's working. It's working. Ah, they got me. Ah, it's working.
A million guest reviews from people like you. Welcome to Hotels.com.
Accolades, multiple championships, no equal. Suzuki.
Made from fresh tomatoes living happily together with spicy green chilies. The bold flavor of Rotel gives your queso a kick. Spice things up with Rotel.
Hey, you'd look good green and white.
We really think you're terrific. Come help us defend the Rock. Well, I'm back at you.
Big W on the helmet.
You know about our Buckeye leads, right? We got this new stadium coming. You'd look great in black and gold. We're the cradle quarterbacks. Do you like roses?
Look, our helmet's got wings. Come to Ohio State. Come to Wisconsin.
Indiana. Iowa. Purdue. Illinois. Michigan. Northwestern. Minnesota.
Michigan State.
Come to Penn State.
They say there is no I in team. Yeah, try telling that to the Illini Nation on a Saturday afternoon. This is Big Ten country, and this is where it lives.
Big Ten Football Saturday, next week, only on the Big Ten Network.
Hi, we're Jordan and Mike, and we're excited about this season's Friday night tailgate presented by Nissan. This season, we decided to split everything 50-50. So make sure you tune into Friday Night Tailgate.
Big Ten Friday Night Tailgate presented by Nissan, only on the Big Ten Network.
Awful great partners together.
Scalpel.
Scalpel?
I'm going to make the bilateral incision now. Oh, now, wait a sec.
Doctor, what is it?
Badgers must have scored.
This is Big Ten country, and this is where it lives.
Big Ten Football Saturday, next week, only on the Big Ten Network. Illinois football, The Journey, Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern, only on the Big Ten Network.
Join host Mike Hall as he and his crew take you around the conference each week with a fun, unique look at every campus. Join them next week in Champaign on Big Ten Friday Night Tailgate, 8:30 Eastern, only on the Big Ten Network. And the Badgers and Camp Randall all jacked up after jump around and start of the fourth quarter, 31-10. Here's Zach Brown. Zach Brown dragging Tyler Campbell into Akron territory. He has a first down.
Yeah, they looked like they were extra motivated after that play because of the, especially during the break with the jump around in the crowd. You got the boot.
And we even had you up here jumping around.
Hey, it's a college atmosphere, collegiate atmosphere. Everyone's jumping around, and I think this is the first. The booth was actually shaking.
I don't think it's the first. They've done it for 10 years here, and just one of the great traditions in the Big Ten Conference of players also jumping around, getting it rocking. Not only the student bodies, but also alumni and some of the future alumni of Wisconsin. As John Clay carries the ball and Cole Stewart makes the tackle. This is a defensive line that is without Iowa transfer Ryan Bain. He injured his foot. Eric Levy also out. And he traveled 9 defensive linemen. And J.D. Burkhardt telling us that he was going to play 7 of them. And it's been a tough day up front for them. And a 3-3-5, and of course they've had 8 in the box as well. And the backers are close to that line of scrimmage, but with that offensive line and the run game of the Badgers, it is just tough to stop. John Clay on the cutback. John Clay into the secondary. John Clay down to the 25-yard line. Highly touted out of Racine, Wisconsin, and you can see how joyous he is after a big-time run.
I tell you what, if you don't think that defensive front is not thinking about what this Wisconsin O-line's been doing to them all afternoon, when they jumped off sides, it clearly showed that, you know, we're a little bit nervous, and John Clay comes busting through the hole and shows that he's one of the going to be a future emerging star as well.
Andre Jones, who last year led the team in tackles, converted to wide receiver, playing both ways today. Remember, he did drop a couple of balls earlier in the first half, and he is in there on defense, and he tripped up John Clay. The give once again. John Clay lowers his shoulder, rams through Campbell, and brings him to the 10, running with pure confidence. It's John Clay.
You know, I tell you, sometimes you got to say to yourself, is it even fair? You know, these guys up front, you got Sewell, Cole Stewart, and Marcoux trying to make a defensive stand, but it's not really going into their favor. These guys are 6'1", and your biggest guy is 290, and your smallest guy in front is actually 235 pounds. And then when you start talking about backups, I mean, you got your backup defensive end as Sean Lemon. He's listed as 6'1" and 220 pounds. I mean, that's tough to defend.
1st and 10. Badgers keep marching on behind the running. John Clay tripped up there just shy of the line of scrimmage. 6'2", 237 pounds out of Washington Park High School. Bellum comes up and makes a stop for Akron. He was rated a top 10 running back in the nation. 3-time first-team All-State selection, 2-time State Player of the Year, 3-time team MVP. He rushed for 1,485 yards and 15 touchdowns on 170 carries as a senior. Play, end zone, touchdown Badgers. John Clay, his first touchdown as a Wisconsin Badger.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, it's just running off of this offensive line, and that's just a great block. Here you go. You got big 75 coming around, pulling around, and making something happen. And John Clay has shown that he has good vision and speed as well.
9-yard TD run. He in 11 plays, 80 yards, totaling 6 minutes and 12 seconds. Philip Welch has been pure throughout the day and is now 38-10. John Clay becomes the third running back for the Badgers to get a touchdown on the day.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Yeah, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my friends.
At Hampton, we love having you here.
Buffalo Wild Wings. You have to be here.
There's only one utility vehicle that can do it all. Only one that can outrun. Only one that can outpull. Only one that can outride. And only one that can outwork every utility vehicle out there. Only Ranger. Hardest working, smoothest riding. Get financing as low as 2.99% and up to $800 during the Power Play sales event.
All right, let the journey begin.
This week on the series premiere of Illinois football, The Journey. Expectations are high in Champaign.
People are expecting not just a bowl bid, they're expecting a big bowl bid.
There's no reason why we shouldn't have the same opportunity as anyone else to win the conference.
As the Illini prepare for a season as the hunted in the Big Ten.
College football is a what have you done for me lately kind of world, so you got to get it done every day.
Illinois football, The Journey. Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern, only on the Big Ten Network.
Tonight on the Big Ten Network, Adam Weber and the Gophers look to start the season off right as they battle a tough Northern Illinois squad. Tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern on the Big Ten Network. And all the way back, Andre Jones picking his spots. Takes it out from his own end zone, and he's up beyond the 30-yard line to the 31-yard line, and another strong return by the Akron Zips. Aubrey Pleasant on the stop for the Wisconsin Badgers. 31-yard return, and this was a concern of Brett Bielema.
You know, that's one of their strengths here. You got Andre Jones, and you kind of wonder why he wasn't the guy catching the field of the kicks earlier on in the ball game. You know, giving Akron good field position at the 31-yard line.
You know, things to watch throughout the day, certainly the special teams, the Wisconsin offensive line, and the run game of the Badgers. And the Badgers have done a solid job throughout. Screen, Andrew Johnson, the University of Miami transfer, and the ball loose on the field, but he is down as Patrick Buttram makes a stop.
Yeah, that was a good job by Patrick Buttram, closing on the football, even though it's a screen. Then you have Akron coming back right back at him with this no huddle.
Badgers have handled it well outside of the second quarter. Second quarter, 134 yards racked up by the Akron Zips. First and third quarter combined 45 yards. And here in the fourth quarter, McFadden rides out Johnson, and Johnson getting a ton of work, and Niles Brinkley also there. It is 38-10. The Wisconsin Badgers, and Chris Jacquelmain has a bundle of work to do here. First and 10. Out of the shotgun, Jeremy Bruce in motion. Jacquelmain now swings it to Bruce on the far side. Bruce trying to go one-on-one, but McFadden ties him up.
That was just an excellent play by Bruce, getting open and being on time at his spot on that it's kind of really of a running play if you look at it, where it's a quick pass from Jacquelmain out to the outside. Bruce catches it and just gets what he can to keep the clock moving, and also too moving down the field so that they can get right back into this no-huddle offense.
See Dave Doran, the defensive coordinator, promoted to the defensive coordinator on January of 2008 after 2 years as a co-defensive coordinator and linebacker coach. Operates from down on the field as Shane Carter comes up and makes a stop after a great run by Chris Jacquelmain.
You know, right here, this is what we were talking about earlier, as it's a option give and go type play where the quarterback reads the defensive line, and if he sees that an opportunity is there, he'll pull it back and take it for himself and get some good yards.
10-yard pickup, Jacquelmain. Play action, and a catch over the middle, Jeremy Bruce. And he's able to handle it, and Shane Carter comes up, makes the hit.
You know, Jacquelmain is really looking good. Look at the pocket presence. Look at his vision downfield as a quarterback, and he delivers the ball on time against that zone defense. I mean, he's showing that he's going to be a big-time quarterback in their league.
Right now being spread out a little bit, the Badgers defense by the offense of the Akron Zips, and there'll come a time when the Badgers are going to see a look like this. And no place to go for Alex Allen, met in the backfield by the Badgers. And Blake Sorensen, and also there is Matt Shaughnessy. You see him right there, number 92. He is gone through so much. The senior, his brother diagnosed last year with an illness, and just 2 weeks ago he passed away. And Matt Shaughnessy and the rest of the Shaughnessy family, we certainly wish them all the best and in our prayers for sure as they come to the near side. And Johnson's going to pass to the end zone, in and out of the fingertips. Brandon Williams.
You know, right now I just think it's a case of the Wisconsin Badgers defense is kind of going to sleep. You know, you look here, it looks like it's going to be that wide receiver screen type play, and then they just play action pass and throw it down the field. That was a good pass. But too bad the receiver wasn't open. I mean, it just goes right through the fingertips. I mean, that's 6 points. He just gets the ball into his hands.
Matt Shaughnessy, with his brother passing away, out here for the first game of the year. Pass over the middle for the Akron Zips as we send it to Dave Remsen in the Chicago studio.
Okay, Matt, we showed you the bad news for Ohio State with Beanie Wells getting hurt. The good news right here, Terrell Pryor working out of the pistol. And here it is, his first touchdown of his career, an 18-yard run. He has 7 carries for 49 yards, 4 of 4 through the air. It's 40-zip.
All right, thanks, Dave. It's our 11-yard reception out of the shotgun. 38-10. Badgers on top. Jacquelmain changing the play at the line of scrimmage. McFadden urging the crowd here at Camp Randall Stadium to get louder. Kennedy in the backfield, and the Zips are all mixed up, and a flag on the play.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. You got
false start, number 74 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
You got Jacquelmain calling plays at the line of scrimmage, making changes, and your anchor at your left tackle position, and Chris Kemme jumps off sides. It's not, Coach Brookhart said that he was a heady player, a cerebral type guy. You wouldn't expect this from him right now in this spot. spot in the ball game.
10 straight home openers for the Wisconsin Badgers. Tied for 4th longest streak in the nation with USC over the middle. And the pass is caught in traffic. A great job of reeling it in by Miller, and now coming over, the officials are saying no, that he did not hold on to it. Deshaun Miller dropping it.
You know, that's just a heads-up play by Jackman. You know, he's throwing this ball into tight coverage. I mean, that's a drop. But that was a heads-up play by throwing it in that tight coverage by Carter, and took a shot and delivered the ball on time.
Saw Shane Carter, who led the Big Ten in interceptions last year, with 7, going for the ball. And after 4th down, the Badgers are going to take over, and the Badgers are out on the field. And Dustin Shear, who is in that quarterback battle with Allen Everidge, will take over as a quarterback for the Wisconsin Badgers. And 7:47 on the clock. Dustin
Akron is
Shear
challenging the ruling on the field.
And you see Akron, the Zips challenging. And so we'll take a timeout here in the 4th quarter. The Badgers up by 28.
Hey, honey, 2 shampoos.
Maybe they're just buying you off so you write a good review.
It's working. It's working. They got me. It's working.
A million guest reviews from people like you. Welcome to Hotels.com.
A work of art, a finely tuned machine, a sanctuary, a command center, a sophisticated sedan, a sports car. Together. Introducing the all-new Nissan Maxima, the 4-door sports car. Lease a new 2009 Nissan Maxima for $339 a month for 39 months.
Made from fresh tomatoes living happily together with spicy green chilies. The bold flavor of Rotel gives your queso a kick. Spice things up with Rotel.
Tonight on the Big Ten Network, it's a non-conference showdown in the Dome as Adam Weber and the Gophers seek pay dirt early and often when they square off with Northern Illinois. Tonight in high def, only on the Big Ten Network.
Relive the drama with the Big Ten's greatest games. Every week, take another look into the conference's rich football history. The incredible performances. The intense rivalries. The nail-biting finishes. And the unforgettable moments. The Big Ten's greatest games. Only on the Big Ten Network.
Purdue hasn't won in Wisconsin since 1996. Why not now? That's what he told his team at the start of the season. Said you never know what's going to happen. Turnover. Here's Grant on the breakaway. Purdue. The Badgers.
Expect Big Ten titles in the near future for this team from Purdue.
You're watching the Big Ten Network.
The challenge for the Akron Zips does not work. They are charged with a timeout. And the handoff to John Clay, who hops forward for 4 yards with Dustin Shear in as the quarterback. Let's take a look at John Clay.
Well, John Clay is clearly showing that he's going to be a future star of this football team of Wisconsin. You know, he shows that he's got good power in his legs and holds on, protects the football well, and good vision.
His first touchdown as a Badger. P.J. Hill has 2. Zach Brown has 1. Clay has 1. 10 carries, 60-70 yards. Allen Everidge done for the day. 7 of 10. 75 yards, a touchdown and interception, and this time John Clay met in the backfield. And Hassan Uzimi, a freshman for the Akron Zips, comes up and makes the stop. You see Dustin Shear out of Cicero, Indiana. A redshirt junior, went to Arcadia Hamilton Heights High School. Took a final snap of Indiana game back on October 27th for his only playing time of the season. In 2006, he played in 2 games and saw first career action in fourth quarter of a game at Indiana on September 30th. And he also played late against the University of Buffalo on November 18th. Dustin Shear under pressure. Shear trying to escape. And Shear picks up some positive yards on third down as Ray Siller comes up and makes a stop, and it's going to bring up fourth down now for the Wisconsin Badgers.
You know, I tell you, you're watching Shear right now, and has a good presence about him, 6'4". You know, you got to look at him and say, well, he gets out of the way of traffic and gets what he can. And again, it comes down to those decision-making skills, and I'm sure those things will be of question this week.
Big, high, booming kick. Andre Jones comes up and runs into his own player. And so the ball will roll all the way down to the 6-yard line. Lack of awareness by the Zips. Badgers taking advantage.
I get out and I ride with my buddies every weekend, you know. We go out and get after it. Like today, we hit one section when everyone stopped, second guessed it, and I just kept going. Rock here, rock there. I just got a handful, and there she went.
True all-wheel drive, new active descent control, legendary ride and handling. Polaris, the world's toughest ATVs. Polaris Power Play sales event. Get to your participating dealer for up to $800 in rebates and as low as 3.99% APR on select ATVs.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Yeah, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my friends.
At Hampton, we love having you here.
Increase power, performance, and gas mileage with Prestone Fuel System Cleaner and save up to $3.96 on a deal. Whatever you're working on, Advance will help you keep the wheels turning.
Buffalo Wild Wings. You have to be here.
$38-10, P.J. Hill, what a big day. It's time for our Polaris Ranger hardest working player of the game. Guess who? 210 yards on the ground, 2 TDs for P.J. Hill, the junior. And that's his second career 200-yard plus game. Jack LeMaine out of his end zone, and incomplete intended for Miller. The first punt of the game by the Wisconsin Badgers, and freshman Brad Nortman, 58 yards after the miscue of Jones running into his own player. And one thing that the Zips have been successful in, kickoff returns, 7 of them for a total of 433 yards, a net average of 43.1. But they have not been able to capitalize. Back in the second quarter they did. And screen play, and it's going to set up now 3rd down and 10, and the Badger defense has been strong, but that offense has been impressive, and especially the run game, right? Brett Bielema talked to him, said, hey, listen, we're going to run, and that's exactly what they've done, and they have run all over Akron today.
Yeah, you know, and that was kind of expected, but I guess the one thing that kind of concerns me, I just hope that they wouldn't come down too hard on Allen Everidge. I mean, yeah, he had 1 interception, and quite frankly, it just looked bad when it goes back for 64 yards. But essentially, that was really his only big mistake in this football game.
Jack LeMaine across the middle. Miller is stung by Sorensen, but he continues to move forward. It's a 1st down, and great job by Miller of holding on to it after And Blake Sorensen came up, gave him a pop, and McFadden finally was able to drag him down.
You know, I'm a big believer that a team is a spitting image of its head coach, and it's a good call by head coach trusting his offensive coordinator to continue to pound the football. And
Bowser and McFadden. And McFadden on the stop as Darren Bowser reels it in. It's 38-10, under 5 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. 10-yard gain. Go ahead.
And continue what I was talking about. You know, watching how the offense is just continuing to line up and be aggressive and taking their shots down the field and taking what the defense gives them. It's just a testament as to who Brookhart is.
Jackelmain across the middle, and that one floats high and above the reach of Deshaun Miller. Now, this is a team, Akron Zips, picked in the preseason polls to finish last in the East Division. They were 4-8 last year, 3-5 in the MAC. MAC is tough. They can spread you out. And they have some very talented quarterbacks. History of quarterbacks, as everyone knows. Take a look at Chris Jackelmain. A good, solid performance out of Chris Jackelmain. But just the O-line of the Wisconsin Badgers in the running game, just too much for them as he fires, and it's caught by Alfonso Owen, and the stop by Alan Langford. Akron, their only win against a Big Ten school, September 5th, 1894, and Akron's only game of the season. So they're undefeated, 1-0.
Come on, man.
Under head coach and quarterback, wait a minute, some history here. John Heisman, Jackelmain. And he is brought down. Did he lose control of it at the 10? No. He is brought down, chased down by the Badgers. And what a great job by Matt Shaughnessy. By the way, yes, that is John Heisman. And it was a 12-6 win over Ohio State. And at that time, University of Akron wasn't even known as University of Akron.
Yeah, you watch this play here. It was going to be a screen, obviously, but it was just a miscue at the snap. And Shaughnessy was a good heads-up play to continue on with the play and not get confused as to what was going on. But in reference to what you were saying, you know, it kind of sounded like you were stressing the fact that it was 18 in the 1800s.
It's been a while. Yeah. I mean, we weren't even around in 1894. John Steck, high booming kick. And it is handled as a fair catch. Badgers will come out to do some more damage.
What happens when designers imagine a refined sedan, while engineers craft a powerful sports car? What happens? You get something better than both. Introducing the all-new Nissan Maxima, the four-door sports car. Lease a new 2009 Nissan Maxima for $339 a month for 39 months.
There's only one utility vehicle that can do it all. Only one that can outrun. Only one that can outpull. Only one that can outride. And only one that can outwork every utility vehicle out there. Only Ranger, hardest working, smoothest riding. Get financing as low as 2.99% and up $800 during the Power Play sales event.
Back in progress, 2nd and 7. And Dustin Shear under center. And in the backfield is a freshman to walk on, Brady Ewing. Ewing with the carry. And Brady Ewing up over the 40-yard line. And Brady Ewing out of Richland Center, Wisconsin, 6'1", 212-pound freshman in Richland Center, just outside of Madison.
Boy, you watch how he runs his football, and you can say to yourself that Brett Bielema and his coaching staff, that's one of their emphasis is finding running backs. I mean, you just watch how he comes through the hole, and the vision is what really makes a great running back. And I'm not calling him a great running back, but he certainly looked good on that play.
He's a walk-on, and Bo Ryan, the great head coach of the Badgers basketball team, has talked to him about possibly ball loose on the ground. and scooped up by Akron, and it's going to be the Akron Zips ball. But Bo Ryan has talked to Brady Ewing about possibly playing for the Wisconsin Badgers basketball team. All right, today's Hampton Hotels winning play of the game is, here it is, P.J. Hill. One of 2 touchdowns on the ground for P.J. Hill.
And you watch him out. He just dominated this football game, rushing over 200 yards his second time of his career. I mean, it's just he's just a workload and a workhorse.
Touchdown at Hampton. Wake up a winner. So can Akron take advantage of this opportunity? Jack Romaine, and he finds Darren Bowser, and Bowser trying to shake free, and finally wrapped up and stopped by Colmer St. Jean. Wisconsin on the ground today, Ian, 61 carries for 404 yards.
Wow.
Bowser, a 12-yard reception. When you're an offensive lineman, you kind of take pride in that, don't you?
Oh, big time. I mean, they're almost at 1,000 yards. They're halfway at the halfway mark of 1,000-yard rushing.
I mean, they're 600 yards short. I mean, and that's collectively here now. And against a 3-3-5. And Alan Langford breaks it up. Langford, the senior, had a fumble recovery earlier in the game. And talk about that offense. Paul Chryst, since taking over as offensive coordinator 3 years ago, the Badgers have averaged 31 points per game. And their highest 3-year scoring average in school history. Off the left side. And stopped by Eric Prather as Dennis Kennedy is on the carry.
You know, going back to Paul Chryst, you know, anytime you can score 31 points a game, that spells a lot of wins. Because realistically, the magic number is 21. 21 points, I don't have the stats in front of me, but 21 points per game usually gives you around 80% win.
Get out there, Blake!
Today, the Badgers have 480 total yards. Jack Romaine under pressure, but now steps up, has time, and he finds Brandon Williams inside the 20-yard line as Niall Brinkley, a sophomore, makes the stop.
I tell you, J.D. Brookhart has to be pleased with the way that Jacquemin has played today, and, you know, with his pocket presence and delivering the ball on time. He looks to the right for his first read, and then check down to his left and delivers the ball on time, making very good decisions with the ball.
Starting to move the ball here. Last year, the Badgers offensively averaged over 400 yards. Today, 480 yards. It was the first time that the Badger offense had averaged over 400 since 1999. And this is a team, Badgers, under a minute remaining as Niles Brinkley is there for the tackle. Next week they have Marshall. The Thundering Herd comes to Camp Randall. And the Badgers are going to improve to 22-5 under Brett Bielema. They're going to extend this 10 straight home opener despite this touchdown by Alfonso Owen. And that's something that Dave Darren is not going to be happy about, the defensive coordinator or Brett Bielema. And sloppy at the end of the first half, and now sloppy here at the end of game number 1 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, not at all happy, you know, because these are the things that kind of show you what holes your team needs to work on. You know, I understand you're up 38-16, but you should tighten down your coverage and not give up any free plays at any point in the football game.
Second ever meeting between these teams, and the Badgers are now going to be 2-0 against Akron. And Igor Velchek right through the middle of the uprights. 14 consecutive home wins for the Badgers. It's going to move now to 15 straight at Camp Randall as we see a replay.
And you watch how Jacquemin delivers the play, and then, I mean, you just watch the defense. They're kind of just trotting around at this point and just letting the guys do whatever they want to do at will. You know, at first when they ran that wide receiver screen, the one that I was speaking about before, is kind of like a rushing play. They were all over it, whereas now they're just letting it go.
Take a look at the preseason polls. Big Ten teams in the top 25. There are 5 of them. Ohio State, Wisconsin, Illinois, Penn State, and Michigan. Rich Rodriguez talked to Brett Bielema, who knows him well, and as does Paul Christ. Said they've had quite a few conversations. Said, yeah, I'm happy that he's, gets a Michigan job, but I'm not happy, right? Because you don't want to face him. You don't want to see him.
That's one of those deals where you want to congratulate a person, and then you say, well, look, we're borderline enemies at the same time.
Borderline? What do you mean? There's no borderline.
I'm trying to be politically correct. Huh?
I mean, you can't say borderline. That just isn't right. Of course, this year he will have a stretch September 27th at Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State. There's 3 weeks there for the Wisconsin Badgers as Brady Ewing is there. There's that 3 weeks there starting at the end of September and then the beginning of October, first 2 weeks. It's going to, really tell a lot about this Wisconsin Badger team.
Sure, and today you can see that, they can clearly run the football and they can clearly lean off of their offensive line, but as soon as you start going at Michigan or at Iowa or at Michigan State, I mean, you got to see if they're going to be able to finish the game then the way that they finished the game today.
And don't forget about Penn State, October 11th right here. And then there's those 4 games, 4 and 5. You got at Michigan, Ohio State at home, Penn State at home, at Iowa, and then come home for Illinois. And Brett Bielema is going to improve to 22-5 as a head coach of the Wisconsin Badgers. And the Badgers begin the season on a positive note as they down the Akron Zips 38-17 here at Camp Randall, and they've now won 11 straight home openers, 15 in a row overall. Second longest in the nation behind Oklahoma, who's won 17 straight. The last time that they have lost at home was November 12th, 2005 against the University of Iowa, and the 12th ranked Wisconsin Badgers come away with an impressive win in a great ground game led by that offensive line.
Also too, they did an excellent job of rushing the football, but in hindsight, I thought that Allen Everidge had a pretty decent game outside of that one interception. I know it looked bad, but I don't think that anybody should hit the panic button just yet, because he had good pocket presence. He delivered the football on time. I thought that there was 2 points, one close to the end zone where he almost threw a pick, and then the one interception.
All right, let's end it now down to